Hi everyone, this is Lauren, your sewing buddy, and today I wanted to talk about something a little bit more serious. While I do that, I am going to be working on my very first knitting project. I just recently learned how to knit at the live action role playing game Dark Prospects. Um, my character learned, and therefore I learned, and that's pretty cool. Anyway, this video is going to contain content regarding asexuality, sex, some bullying. So if that's not your cup of tea, I welcome you to check any of my other videos. But this is something that I feel the need to talk about, so I'm going to do that. So, um, asexuality, I identify as asexual. It's also called ace. There's a whole spectrum of it. Um, what it is a lack of sexual desire. So when you're walking down the street and you see someone and they look good, instead of thinking, ooh, yeah, I want to bang them, it's like, oh, wow, they've really, dressed to accentuate the balance between their shoulders and hips and waist, and it looks really good. And, like, I wish I could dress like that. Um, or, wow, their face is so pretty and clear, and I wonder what kind of face products they use. It's, it's not. I don't walk around thinking about sex, which apparently a lot of people do, which I always thought that was just made up stuff. Um, I discovered that I was asexual like a couple of years ago, um, because I first encountered the term during coming out day, which is a Facebook thing where everyone who hasn't come out yet, or even who has, is like, hey, this is me, take it or leave it. Um, the I always thought I was broken, or maybe I had repressed memories of abuse from childhood, or there was something just wrong with me hormonally. Um, and it kind of put a strain on my relationship with Jody for a while because when we first got together, like, well, not when we first got together, but, a few months in, I decided, okay, this one, yeah, I could see myself having that level of intimacy with this person. So, um, Jody is the first and only person I've ever had sex with. And it was it was physically pleasing. They liked it and I liked it, but not in the same way, obviously. It's a difficult thing to explain, but, I still have nerve endings. It's just I don't have that impulse. Like, you know how in movies or in TV shows people are talking and then suddenly they're making out and then it goes straight to sex? Like, I don't understand how that kind of spontaneity can be a thing. Like anytime I decide that okay, this would be an all right night for sex, it's a planned thing. Like okay, so do we have anything we're doing tonight? When's the last time I showered? Like that kind of thing. It's all very planned, very analytical, um, which apparently is not the way that most people think about that. So, yeah, for a while, it was making Jody feel unattractive because I didn't want sex all the time. And it's not like I'm sex averse, which is where just like, ew, no, don't, ew. Um, but I'm not, it's not a need. It's just a really nice thing I can do for Jody. I get some benefit out of it, but it's something that Jody needs. Which, yeah, we're working well with it. Jody's super supportive. Like they understand now it's not them, it's not something I need. So they don't pressure me, but they will like remind me once in a while, hey, by the way, it's been like a month and I would like to have the sex. Like, oh, you are absolutely right, and I apologize. Um, so that's sort of our new relationship dynamic, and it works, but I still feel bad because there are those times when it goes that long, and I don't realize it because, again, not on my mind. I'm busy thinking about my sewing projects and cleaning house and work and everything else. Like growing up, I kind of knew that, but also I thought, it was just me being a good girl because, I had crushes on boys, but it was more like, oh, they're aesthetically pleasing. I think we would look good together in photographs. I guess if I was going to date someone, that would be a good choice. Or I can't even say that it was about their personality because I didn't talk to a lot of people, and the ones I wound up having crushes on weren't the nicest ones. So there was a lot of learning in like my high school dating years. Um, a lot of times if someone did ask to like go out or ask me to a dance, then yeah, I would go because like that's really cool that someone took that notice of me. Like as it turns out, I was a nerdy kid and I didn't think I was pretty and I got picked on a lot. So if someone was actually kind, then yeah, of course I'm gonna go to the dance with you. Or, well, I wasn't really allowed to date until I was 16, but like, after that point, yeah, sure, let's go to your place and watch some movies. And, then it got to the point where when I did that, they were expecting sex. And, like, no, it's not me. Like, I would make out with them, and that was nice. Um, but then at one point, like, the person I was dating before Jody, there, I was at his house, like, we would make out and stuff, like, whatever, but then he was on a chat program, like, basically cybering this chick, and that kind of was a wake up call for me. Like, oh, this is not okay, and you're not happy, and I'm not happy, so I'm gonna let you do your thing. I'm gonna go. Um, and that was the point where I'm like, I don't need someone like that. I don't need to be dating someone. This is ridiculous. Like, if it's this case where all they want is to make out and they get mad that I don't want sex, like, that's not for me. But then I met Jody, um, and they were pretty chill. Like, we were friends, of course, at first, and we would just, like, we watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Tuesdays, and we would, like, lay out under the stars and talk, and, it just clicked. And we were both in a state where we were like, you know what, no, we're not dating anyone. And then suddenly we were on accident. And that, I think, is the best kind of way for those things to happen. Of course, Jody had sex before, but they were still really chill about, like, I'm not ready yet. And I wasn't sure what I was waiting for, or if I was waiting for anything. But after dating Jody for a while, I realized that, yeah, no, I could spend forever with this person. So, um, I let that happen. Apparently, I was good at it. And I do say I let that happen. Like, it was a very strong moment of just letting go. Because that's also a control thing. Like, this is my body that I am allowing you access to on a deeper level than anyone has ever had. So, um, there's huge trust and huge release of my control, which is a really big thing for me. Um, so yeah, I hope that that has given you some perspective on asexuality. Again, it is a spectrum, so there are some people who are um, demisexual, which is where you, once you feel that really close connection to someone, you are sexually attracted to them. Um, there's gray asexual, which is similar. It's just sometimes you feel sexually attracted to them and sometimes you don't, and that's okay too. Um, it's just sexuality is never the same for two people, and we shouldn't expect it to be. I'm really happy that, if I have kids. Sorry, my computer had something to say. I'm really happy to know that if I have kids, they're not going to grow up with that same expectation as I did. Because I had from my parents that, you're going to save yourself for marriage. And then I had from my social group that, oh my gosh, we should all be having sex because that's, what we do now. And I didn't even know how sex worked until halfway through seventh grade. Like, that's the kind of world I grew up in. But we were all expected to, like, well, in seventh grade, we weren't expected to be in it, but there were certain social groups where, like, that's the normal thing, and if you're not having sex, what the hell is wrong with you? And, it's just a different world now, and I'm very happy for that. And in any case, now that I have a new laptop that I can edit from, I will be putting in some links and cards and things to the video, or at least trying to, and we'll see how that goes. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope you have a wonderful week and go create beautiful things.